Hi, my name is John Hansmeyer. I'm going to be talking about my top 5 favorite movies of 2014. It was an amazing year for movies, and there was quite a few movies that really, I don't know, pulled at my heartstrings, made me really excited, and made me really want to think about things in life that really make me happy. And that's what a great movie does. It tries to persuade you to think a different way, and that's what makes movies so powerful. Now, I'm going to talk about my number 5 favorite movie of 2014. And my number 5 favorite movie is Frank. Now, most of you probably don't know what this movie is about, and what Frank is about is it's about this one guy who has a head that he wears, and about a big massive helmet, kind of like a hat, and it just shows like this one weird cartoony face, and it's a disorder that you and it's a disorder he have there. It shows that he doesn't like the way he looks, and so he just wears it all the time. And so he's this one really talented musician, and he's kind of afraid to show his talents, and he's in this band, and there's this one guy who helps him out, and joins this band, and he really helps him and encourages him to really show his talents. And so they go to Texas, and they do this one festival of music, and they just go on this journey, and they just have a great time. And the reason why I put it at number 5 for my favorite movie of 2014 is because it has a lot of quirkiness to it. They go into a cabin in Europe, and they do a lot of weird things. They shuffle, they move around toothbrushes, they record the sound of toothbrushes, they record the sound of hopping to add to music. And it's so quirky and so weird that it's so awesome, and it makes me so excited just every time I think about it. Now, there are some things in this movie I didn't really like, the pacing and some things that are not really explained in the way it should be, but I'm not really wanting to tell anything about it because there's a lot to spoil about this movie. And by the third act of the movie, it tends to feel rather unfitting. That's the best way to tell it. But I'm not really wanting to explain the ending. So I ranked this movie about a 3.5 out of 5 stars. And so, yeah, the person starring Frank is Michael Fassbender. My number 4 favorite movie of 2014 is The Theory of Everything. And this is starring Eddie Redmayne. And it is about the life of Stephen Hawking, and it talks about what he went through and how hard it was for him to be able to become how smart he was as a person. And it's talk about the marriage and what it was like for his kids to be growing up with someone who has neuron disease, which is a disease of where tend to you tend to not be able to move well because your muscles can't grow anymore. And he was only expected to live 3 years, but he's living in his mid-60s, and he's beaten all odds. And the reason why I rank this as number 4 of my list is because it has a really nice heart to it. That's the one thing I really want to say about this movie. It has a really nice heart, and it's very consistent. But one of the things that I could say that's wrong with this movie is because one of the things I would have to say that's wrong with this movie is it's kind of generic, and it doesn't want to take the risks that are involved to make this movie extra special. And one of the scores of the movie and the music is kind of generic, kind of what it typically would sound like in a biopic. But overall, this movie's heart is very good, and Eddie Redmayne's performance was spectacular, and he also won a Golden Globe, which I'm not surprised about. He's also in the movie Les Miserables. So if you really love biopics and really love hearing about people's lives, I would recommend checking it out. My number 3 favorite movie of 2014 was Calvary. Now, this is starring Brendan Gleeson, and this is a story about a priest who is accused. He's not accused, but he's in this confession booth, and this one man wants to kill him because he wants to get back of what he was. Let me start again. He wants to kill this priest because he got hurt when he was a kid by one of the priests, and he wants to get back at him. And so this priest, Brendan Gleeson, doesn't know what to do. And so he goes around with the townspeople and talks with them and asks them, okay, is it you? Is it you? Is it you? And he asks them questions. And it also talks about the dark side of what it can be to be a priest. And you have people that are sinning, people that are smoking drugs that are from the congregation, people that are doing things that are just not right. And he has to go through so much crap to try to find out who this person is. And it's a really amazing performance by Brendan Gleeson. And I've read the nominations today, and he was not even nominated, which is a huge rob, by the way, because his performance was spectacular. And so the reason why I rank it as number 3 is because it has so much raw emotion to this movie. And after the movie, I had a tough time knowing what I just felt, because there's so much raw emotion in this movie, and it makes you want to decide, is there something that I should change in myself? And so it is an amazing movie, and so I would definitely recommend Calvary. My number 2 favorite movie of 2014 was Nightcrawler, and this stars Jake Gyllenhaal and Bill Paxton. It is about the life of this one man who is having a tough time in life, and he doesn't know what to do when it comes to trying to find a job. And so one time he looks around and he finds these people recording this one night chase and this one car accident. And he talks to this one man named actor of Bill Paxton. He asks him, what do you do? And he says, oh, I'm a nightcrawler. I do this for a living. And they bring these recordings of car chases and shootings, and they put it on a news anchor, and they try to sell them. And so that's what he tries to do. And eventually Jake Gyllenhaal, the actor, I think his name is Leo. Anyway, he tries to find what it takes to be great at his profession, and whether that's taking advantage of people or trying to take an extra step ahead of his competition. He does whatever he can in order to be great. And what happens is he kind of becomes kind of a good guy and kind of a villain. He does a lot of things that aren't right, but yet at the same time you can understand that sometimes being the best, you gotta have a little dark side to you. And that's why this movie is so great, because it's so edgy and it's so raw in these shots of these speech chases, and the acting is so good. And Jake Gyllenhaal actually got nominated for a Golden Globe, and he did an amazing performance. An amazing. I've seen him in the movie The Day Before Tomorrow and October Sky, but this is by far his best performance. And it's a very edgy and very on-your-seat film that I just loved so much. My number one favorite movie of 2014 was by far Boyhood. Now, the reason why I say it's my number one favorite movie is because, well, actually, first of all, I better tell you what it's about. It's about this one boy who Hawk was born, I don't know where he was born, but it's just basically talking about the growing up in life, on like what it felt like to be able to ride your bike for the first time, and being bullied and other things. Um, and so it just talks about growing up in life and little things like, what do you want to be when you grow up? Or that talk you had with your teacher that really helped set you straight. And one of the performances in this movie was really good. I really loved Ethan Hawke. It was actually my first movie of Ethan Hawke. I'm kind of guilty to say that. I still haven't seen a movie of Brad Pitt, and so I'm guilty of saying that. But this movie is so good because they recorded this movie over 12 years. And so you get to see these casts grow up before your eyes. And by the time the movie ends, you just realize, wow, I just witnessed seeing this whole cast grow before my eyes. And that's what makes this movie so great and so different, because they take chances, they take risks, and they do things in order to help the movie industry. And so, yeah, it was an amazing film by Richard Linklater. And so, yeah, if you're really more wanting to watch something that's different and something that's innovative, I would definitely see Boyhood. It's an amazing movie, and I would definitely recommend it. So, that's my top 5 favorite movies of 2014, and hope you have a great day. Bye.